Trez and Wes, and guys like that. I still want to be able to, even though they're, Wes been in the game longer than me, and Trez is a great player, and I still want to be able to, tell them things that can help us, repeat. Those two guys, listen, they want to win. Dennis, all those guys are able to learn and able to adapt to our system quickly, and they listen. Obviously, when you have a team that's just coming off a championship, it's easier to do. It's easier to learn. It's easier for those guys to adapt to us, knowing that we know what it takes to win.
Dave?
Hey, Paul George told Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson on their podcast that there's a smile, that you guys had some dialogue about trying to get you to play in Indiana. It didn't happen. And meanwhile, Friday, I think, marked the 2-year anniversary that LeBron, made it known that he'd like to play with you. Have you thought about how those things have played out? And obviously, in the context, you're going to be facing Paul George at opening night.
No, I mean the Paul thing in Indiana. It was a conversation for sure. Kind of just faded away. I'm not sure what happened on their end. He said that management didn't want to do it, whatever. But it was a conversation. And then, LeBron saying what he's saying, obviously want to, team up, and then, the year that we do, we win a championship. So I think Ron kind of spoke it into existence, and, it happened, and I'm glad it happened. For me, selfish reasons. I want to be a champion and able to do that my first year teaming up with him. But I mean, who would have known? Who knows what would have happened with Paul in Indiana? He's another great player. Especially when he was in Indiana, he was definitely tough to guard. He's still tough to guard today. But I think that was so long ago that we played each other many times. Since then. But you always think about like what could have happened. Would my career be a lot different than it is now?
Yeah.
Anthony, I'm curious, how much have you thought about kind of plan for rest and stuff this season? Kind of like whether it's back-to-backs and stuff like that, obviously with the off-season being as short as it was and season being rest. How much have you thought about that, and what do you think kind of the plan is for you?
I think you just take it a game at a time, just kind of see what your body tells you. So I thought I was going to be, winded in my first game back against Phoenix. And obviously I'm not, in mid-season shape. I don't think anyone is, but I felt way better than I thought. I didn't expect to play the entire first, and I could have in the first game back. And so I feel confident in playing, but it's different when you're constantly playing every night or back-to-backs and things like that. So you just figure out game by game, you listen to your body, and coach understands. He does a great job of managing us, make sure that we get our proper rest, knowing that we had a shortened off season, and I can always go and talk to him, and when my body is telling me something.
AD, we're all in great shape on ours. Secondly, you kind of talked about your expectations for Kyle to have a big year. We just got word that got an extension. What can that do for a player? Just kind of the comfort in that, and knowing and not having that kind of that year hanging over someone's head.
Yeah, I mean it's good for him. You don't have that contract anxiety for the whole year. Now that it's out the way, he can go out there and play, and which he was doing anyway. He was having a great preseason, and he even played great for us in the bubble and all last year. So, he's locked in. He made a great jump. On both ends of the floor. He wants to take those matchups. He wanted to guard Book in the preseason. He wanted to guard Kawhi in the preseason. So and Paul. So he wants those matchups. He's playing extremely well for us on the offensive end, making big shots. Shooting the ball extremely well, making the right play, the right passes. So it's good for him. We're excited to have him here. I know he's excited to be here. And he's a champion. You deserve it. And I'm glad that the Lakers were able to, work something out with him to be able to allow him to just go out there and play and not worry about contracts for the rest of the season.
All right, I think we're going to wrap it up. Jordan Richard?
What's up, bro?
What's up, baby?
What's up? Can you just talk about, last game you got 6 threes and just playing on the perimeter. Frank ran the down screen for you to catch the three and shoot, and then taking a lot of sidestep threes. Can you just talk about, are we going to see more of AD on the perimeter this year and running, just some more isolation plays for you on the perimeter?
Last year, Coach talked to me about getting my 3-point attempts up. I think I was shooting, maybe 3 a game last year in the bubble, or it might have been for the season, and 38% in the bubble. And he said it helped us win, and he wanted me to get that average up to 5 attempts a game. And so, just having the confidence, working with, Mike P on my shooting, day in and day out, constantly just shooting the ball with confidence and just letting it fly. Obviously the team, the players want me to shoot it. They have a lot of confidence in me. And so I just got to be able to be confident enough to go out there and shoot the ball, whether it's a pull-up 3, soft shot, whatever it is, and to try to get that attempt up to 5, just knowing that it'll help the team.
With LeBron and AD, the partnership obviously it drives so much of what you guys do, work habits-wise. What have you seen just manifest in practices or maybe even in the preseason games, how that partnership has evolved now that they've won a championship together?
It's I would say it's more of the same where we were at last year. They had a great partnership last year on and off the court. There's a great vibe between the two of them that carries over to the rest of the group. And, even though obviously we won a championship together, so that always strengthens a bond like that, but it's very similar to where it was last year.
Yeah.
Was everybody available today? Who was out practice-wise?
Yes, everybody was full participants.
Have you made any decisions about starting lineup set at this point?
Yeah, we'll reveal we're going to hold the starting lineup and reveal it on Tuesday night before the game.
Frank, LeBron said on a recent podcast appearance that when he was watching that Clippers-Denver series unfold, he couldn't believe it. He thought the Clippers had it in the bag. I'm curious, if you guys have the Clippers coming up on opening night, what was your view being down there in the bubble and seeing that series as you prepared for either team that you played in the Western Conference Finals?
Well, I felt all along it was 2 elite teams playing against each other. So even though Denver got down 3-1, I didn't feel like they were out of it. And when they came back, I wasn't surprised, and not to say anything about the Clippers, but I just know how good Denver was, and I knew it was going to be really, really hard to put that team away. And I would not have been surprised if the Clippers did, because they were every bit as good. But it's just 2 great teams slugging it out.
Jordan Richard?
Hey, Frank.
Jordan, how you doing?
Sorry, I cut you off, Jordan. You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, Frank. Good seeing you, man.
Good to see you too.
Can you talk about Marc Gasol's passing ability and just how it helps this offense? There's a lot of times I've watched in the film session just, Marc will catch it at the top of the 3-point circle or as a trail big, and you'll run a down screen for AD, or they'll have a backdoor cut from Dennis Schroeder. And then just a play that just comes to mind with me is 2 games ago, you told Taylor to set a down screen for Markieff, and then you got a layup. Can you just talk about his passing ability and what it brings and how it opens up the offense for this team?
Yeah, it's really remarkable that the skill set that Mark has at his size, and the intelligence, the ability to read defense and whatnot.